guys, I'm Daphne Quay, your boss lady realtor here in Central Texas. And today I'm going to tell you about one of my favorite suburbs right outside of the LaT&x. We are going to be talking about, I'm going to be talking about Pflugerville, Texas. Like I mentioned, today we're going to be learning all about Pflugerville. Pflugerville is a suburb that's located just northeast of Austin, and it has grown so much in the last few years. I've got so much information to tell you about it. Before we begin, please make sure to click that subscribe button and the notification button so that you get notified every time I do a video like this one. I do videos like this all the time. A lot of times we talk about neighborhoods in Central Texas, things to do, and market conditions. So if you want to stay updated in the Central Texas real estate market, make sure to subscribe. And also, please like my video because it helps me out and it allows me to continue doing videos just like this one. Let's go. So to start with, let me tell you the location of Pflugerville. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, Pflugerville is located just northeast of Austin. So if you look at a map of Austin, you'll see IH-35, which is one of my major highways. Did I just say my major highways? I did. I'm going to stand by that. It's one of my major highways. And then there's Highway 130, which also goes north and south. And then there's Highway 45, which goes east and west. Pflugerville is basically starts just east of IH-35 up until a little bit east of Highway 130, which is the toll road, just south of Highway 45. It's just kind of a weird shape. It's not like, like a perfect rectangle or triangle or whatever. But so Pflugerville honestly has a lot of history. I'm going to skip a lot of it and just kind of get to the condensed points. They started kind of settling the township of Pflugerville in the late 1800s. I want to say it was around 1872, but they really started development in the early 60s. So you can find homes there that were built like in the mid 60s up until today. There's so much variety there as far as the style of home. You can find kind of like Texas ranch style homes. There's not a lot of them, but you can find them that are just kind of big single story homes on like an acre of land, up until like more modern style homes that are basically like cookie cutter homes like right next to each other. Pflugerville is one of the suburbs that's seen so much growth in the last, I would definitely say the like 5-6 years. One of the things that's been really cool to see about Pflugerville, it's one of the suburbs that has really grown up in the last, I would say 5 to 6 years. The first home that I ever bought and lived in it still is, in Pflugerville. I bought that with the intention of it being an investment. So there wasn't like too much like emotional attachment to it. And I say that because I remember moving in, the house is great, and feeling like I was so far away from Austin and that there wasn't much to do. And that if I wanted to do anything, I'd have to drive into town and all this, right? The truth is though, right after I moved in, I got that home in 2016. Right after I moved in, I started seeing so much development right in Pflugerville. I'm talking about like residential development as well as things to do, like commercial development, shopping, dining, all that kind of stuff. There are several really convenient shopping centers, and there's a lot of really beautiful neighborhoods that have walking trails and amenity centers. There's also, this is like so highly underrated, but there's also Pflugerville Lake, which is it's a little lake that's 3 miles in circumference, and it's paved so you can like go for walks, and there's people running there and people taking the kids on walks, and then there's like a playscape, and they do community events. It's really become a really desirable suburb to live in, and so much of it is on Highway 130, which is our toll road, or it's really close to it. So access to the south side of town or even going further north is very quick. Okay, so now let me tell you a little bit about schools in Pflugerville. There's actually a pretty broad range of ratings. I am on greatschools.org, which I think is a really good website to get accurate school ratings. So I'm looking at the map right now, and most schools in like the central Pflugerville section that are between IH-35 and Highway 130 are rated anywhere between a 2 to a 7. And most of them are kind of hovering at like a 4 or 5, which is not not great, right? However, if we go over to the east side of Pflugerville, which is where we have the newer developments, just east of Highway 130, there are two schools that are actually rated 9 out of 10. The first one is Murchison Elementary, and the second one is Row Lane Elementary School. And honestly, I do have a lot of clients that have looked for homes in that area because those schools are so highly rated. And the thing is too, so much of this neighborhood, like on the northeast portion, is so new that a lot of these schools still have room to, I would definitely say, to grow and raise the rating in the next few years. So like I mentioned just a little bit ago, Pflugerville has a lot of variety in the style of homes and neighborhoods that they offer. You can find neighborhoods where they have little bungalows, older kind of style bungalows built like I would say in the 80s, maybe early 90s. Then you have developments from the 90s that kind of have more of a McMansion look to them. There's a couple neighborhoods that I love that have this really cute kind of storybook look to them, where the houses are like really cute different colors and have a lot of character, built I'd say like 2006 up until about 2017. And then we have like the northeast part of Pflugerville where we have these golf course communities, and some of the houses are just over the top, huge, beautiful, with really awesome amenities. But anyway, I'm gonna stop talking about it. Let's hop in the car. Let's go take a look at these neighborhoods and we'll watch and learn. Let's go. So right now we're driving through the Windermere neighborhood in Pflugerville. These homes were built kind of like in the mid to late 90s. I want to say some of them were built in the early 2000s. Really like kind of basic little houses, really good starter homes. There were a bunch of rentals here at one point because it was so affordable. You saw a lot of investors come in and buy them up and then rent them out. The area is changing a lot though, because this is probably one of the more affordable like areas in Pflugerville. I think first-time home buyers are coming in and they're taking a lot of pride in the homeownership here and polishing up their cute little houses. I mean, you can see the yards are generally pretty well taken care of. People take pretty good care of the exterior of the house as well. And it's just a very, like I said, it's a really good neighborhood for like starter homes. Right now, we are literally just driving into the Highland Park neighborhood located in Pflugerville. What I really like about this neighborhood is that these homes look like little fairy tale homes, and there's so much greenery everywhere. If you can see as we're driving by, there's so many trees, it's so green. Over on this side is like nothing but just like Amazon. Is that the technical word for it? Amazon? Basically, Highland Park started development, I want to say it was like 2004, more or less, maybe a little earlier than that, up until about 2017, give or take. I think you can probably see that there's a lot of sidewalks, lots of green space. It's a very community-oriented neighborhood. There's been several occasions that I've driven through here, just like on a weekend or like a holiday weekend when people are off work, and there's tons of people everywhere. You see like people walking out by themselves. I've seen lots of folks just like walking with their puppy, taking the kids out for a walk. It's very much that kind of community where when people have some free time, they'll be out walking around, taking advantage of the sidewalks and like the park and the green area, because there's just so much of it and it's such a comfortable and adorable little place to live. One big perk of living in Highland Park, I would say, is that we are so close to literally everything. It's definitely its own little community, but then you go out to the main road and you have quick access to Highway 130 or Highway 35. There's also lots of shopping and tons of amenities like right down the street. Immediately, like 3 or 4 minutes down the street, you've got everything you would need. So right now we are driving through the Fairway of Blackhawk neighborhood. Blackhawk is one of the major, I would say, main neighborhoods here in like northeast Pflugerville. We are north of Austin and east of Highway 130. So the Blackhawk neighborhood actually sits on the Blackhawk golf course, which is super scenic. It's really beautiful. I'm going to turn in here and we're actually going to be able to see what this all looks like. So that's what I gotta show you guys in Pflugerville. Like I said, this is kind of one of my favorite suburbs because it is growing so quickly. It's still sort of affordable and it is so close to Austin proper. It's literally like one of the first suburbs. It is, it's like the first suburb north of Austin and it's so close to everything. So anyway, if you live in Pflugerville, if you're curious about Pflugerville, leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. Anyway, I'm Daphne Quay, your boss lady realtor, and I do videos like this all the time. If you want to stay updated in the Central Texas real estate market, primarily Austin and San Antonio, make sure to subscribe to my channel and click the notification button. And please like my videos because it helps me be able to continue to do videos just like this one. That's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching.